All right, everybody, we're back with another installment of the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. This is episode 135. I'm your co-host, Trent Hidlay, joined, as always, by Pat Popolizio, the Skip. Pat, how's it going?
Beautiful day. How you doing, Trent?
Yeah, I'm doing great. This is our take two, but we're ready to go.
You have the cheap internet, so
No, we had to get it. We had to make sure we get it in. We're talking a little bit about the weather. It's beautiful in Raleigh. Sun's been out, birds are chirping. It's a great time to be in Raleigh and leading up for some dual meets. You watch any dual meets this past week?
I got a few in. Yeah, there was a lot of good wrestling on this weekend. Yeah. So catching up on some international wrestling too.
Yeah,
we were watching a little bit.
Yep, I just had a pretty successful trip in Croatia. I came away with a bronze medal. It was a tough weekend, but a lot of good matches across the board. USA did very well. Speaking of that, RTC donors should be expecting an exclusive newsletter coming pretty soon, so that should be exciting. But the international wrestling was good. I'm glad to be back in Raleigh. You guys were off this past weekend. You had UNC the weekend before. We'll recap that. But what was this past week like? Was it more of an opportunity to kind of push guys pretty hard, or were you kind of a little bit light since you had the Friday off?
Yeah, it was kind of altered depending on where we were at with individuals. Some guys had missed earlier. It was a good week to push them. If guys needed a little breather, we could work on some technique. So it was we were all over the place with a practice schedule, but that's the luxury this time of the year, and having a weekend to kind of analyze, regroup, and work towards everyone's needs and get ready for another great home match coming up Friday.
Yeah, well, it's a great opportunity to kind of hit that, get ready to go into this last phase. But UNC duel, wow, that was exciting. I didn't get to watch it live because I was on the plane. I was having Jackson. I did get Wi-Fi on the plane, so he was texting me updates, and I was kind of like freaking out.
Getting the updates via text message.
I was like, update. But I got to rewatch it. Really, really great duel, top to bottom. Obviously with this dual meet, there's a lot of pride involved. You guys really faced some adversity pretty early on in the duel. It was a pretty good atmosphere. NC State fans travel very well there. I guess talk a little bit about just overall, I guess, impressions of the duel. You dropped the first three matches. We dropped at 33, 41, 49. Ed got stopped the bleeding a little bit. Derek Fields got a win, dropped 74. Fishback looked awesome at 84. Lost 97, and then coming into heavyweight, Trumbull obviously with a huge pin to tie it up, and then the gunslinger Vinny brings it home. But what were your impressions, overall thoughts on the duel?
Yeah, it definitely didn't start the way you would kind of expect it with, having Kai going out there first and having the experience. But and that's been the theme this year is new guys stepping up when you need them, and you get the opportunity to get momentum going in duels, and it definitely wasn't in our favor. But the leadership of Ed Scott and being in a lot of matches and dual meets against a good opponent really stepped up his game, looked really focused, got that first win, and then from there I think things started to settle in. And it kept going back and forth with, one team getting a win, then the next and the next. But the luxury with where we started, we knew we had our two highest ranked guys coming up last. So we at least put ourselves in the fight and knew that, coming down the last two matches, felt really confident that those guys could go out there and perform. And no better way to finish it off with Vinny Ice, who loves that platform and loves the pressure. So it was a perfect ending to a really good dual meet.
Yeah, it's almost like we need him to finish maybe every dual meet. I feel like it's interesting, man. Like you have someone like him that wrestles way better when the pressure is on, and it's kind of not an easy thing for guys to do. But he's kind of proved that's a position he likes to be in. But I was really impressed. I think the guys that won, you mentioned Ed being able to finish that match. And Derek Fields giving up the first takedown and coming back and winning that match was huge. Fishback that was probably his best match of the year, I think, start to finish. And I think you're seeing some of the commitment that he's doing in the practice room to really pushing himself and competing, in those positions a little bit harder and being aggressive. You're seeing that come out in a match like that, which was really good to see.
Yeah, and against a guy that, has had success but yeah, he looked lights out. The Fishback that we know he's capable of wrestling like and being real offensive, real aggressive, riding on top and wrestling a really high pace. But the more he can move out there, I think it opens some things up for him. And we're at the point of the year where when we talk about it, the things you're doing in the practice room really will prepare you for these matches. And I think that's something you're seeing out of Fishback. He looks really good, really focused right now, and some of his best wrestling. So great opportunity for still a couple dual meets left and hitting the postseason at the right time for him.
Yeah. And then, heavyweight Trumbull, I think, showed a lot of veteran, maybe maturity and some growth. He gave up 2 quick takedowns, but still was able to dominate the match. Got an escape, took him down. Got to Esposito has been big on the Turks. We finally got one for him. So
we were working this for a while, so it paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Isaac, once he settled in that match, it was good, and sometimes you get that, and he doesn't get taken down that easily and that often. So that was, I think, obviously surprised him, but there was a lot of time left. So it wasn't one of those matches. And he's worked really hard at his offense, and it's working for him at heavyweight. So that was a great match to have to deal with a little adversity, a little bit of pressure, and stepping up. And those are the things you want to get you ready for the end of the year. And yeah, we were in a dual meet there, but I think Isaac got a lot of growth out of that match and knowing that, hey, you can be down a takedown or two and still find a way to win these matches gritty. Obviously, he ended it with a pin, but I thought that was a good test for him.
Yeah, no, it was huge, and the bonus points were huge because it set the stage for a winner-take-all at 125, and Vince Robinson just wrestled really well against a very solid opponent. Spencer Moore is not someone that is easy to take down, and I think Vince had 3 takedowns, which is very impressive. But it's a great way to cap that duel off. I know it's a good rivalry. Our guys get up for it, and it's always good to win that. What is that, 12 straight?
It is 12 straight, so it's been a good run for Pack over here.
2 years ago, I held up the 2 hands for the 10, but you can't really do that celebration anymore. No, it was good. So moving forward, another great opportunity this Friday night. Stanford coming to Reynolds, and honestly, I was looking for a history. I don't know if we've ever wrestled them before.
I know in my time we never have. We've never wrestled the dual meet with NC State, and I don't recall ever competing against them when I was at Binghamton. So this would be my first duel against Stanford, which is
it's a big one. I mean, it's their first year in the ACC, so I actually think it's been awesome having them in the ACC. It's made things way more interesting. It'd be interesting to kind of see how things play out the ACC tournament. Obviously, it changes things a little bit, but it's been very beneficial for the conference. But yeah, first ACC for Stanford, first match for NC State against Stanford. Bit of a homecoming for my blood.
I know this one touches a lot of angles here, so
yeah, it's going to be exciting. Hayden Hidlay, assistant coach at Stanford, is coming. A little bit of a return back to Reynolds. We got a lot of family coming up to watch, so that'll be really special for them.
This one's going to be tough on everyone because as competitive as you two are, I don't know if this one's we'll cross over the line a little bit. Who you're going to be rooting for here?
I know who I'll be rooting for.
No.
I'm going to be rooting for both teams to wrestle really, really hard, but for NC State to win.
No, it's fair enough. And I think you're going to see that for sure. 2 really good, talented teams and a lot of good matchups.
Yeah, now Stanford, they have some very talented individuals. They got some guys pretty highly ranked, and it's low key a really good dual meet. You have 7 ranked matchups, a couple of marquee matchups, 133. The rankings aren't out yet for this week, but from last week, number 6 Tyler Knox against Kai Orini. It's a big match for Kai to respond. 149, Jaden Abbas, who was an All-American a few years ago, against Coy. 157, freshman Grigor Chalakian and Ed Scott. Both guys have great headlocks. So
I was going to say, with a name like that, you're going to see some upper body.
Could be, yeah. It definitely could be. Somebody could be getting thrown. That's going to be exciting. 165, Hunter Garvin, who was number 14. He was an All-American last year against Derek Fields. 184, another marquee matchup. Lorenzo Norman, number 4, versus Maddie Singleton. 197, Nick Stemmet, who's number 22, just had a win over Andy Smith, so I expect him to go up. We'll be taking on Christian Knopp and heavyweight number 32 Peter Ming and Isaac Trumbull. So, across the board, there's some really good matchups. And in the matchups where it's not a ranked guy, one of the teams is. So a lot of good quality wrestling in this duel.
Yeah, no, there certainly is. Guys got to be ready to go and, take advantage of this dual meet being in Reynolds. And I think for 3 guys, well, 4, I guess you got Fields as well, that could be their last match in Reynolds. So you want to see a little Reynolds magic there, and those guys step up and perform well. But yeah, I think 33 probably highlights a lot of it. Those guys wrestle very similar. They're both really good on top. So that should be a fun one to watch if you're into mat wrestling. I think that's going to be one of those matches that could separate themselves. So it's good. And it's new competition. No guys are really that familiar with each other, where, historically you get in the conference, you see guys come in at the same time, they might wrestle each other 10 times in their career. And that really isn't the case here. So this one will be an interesting one.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be good. Last match before the final match against Virginia Tech. You said it's senior night. I think there was, maybe 7 guys that will be honored. I should have.
Yeah.
It's on me. I should have looked that up. That's the one. I don't have that in my notes.
That's all. They put a graphic out last week. You were busy competing.
But I didn't have good connection, so it's hard for me to follow up. But I know
not today. Don't worry about it.
Luke Auberg, Derek Fields, Christian Knopp, Josh Johnson,
the 4 guys in the match.
Camacho. I might be missing somebody.
Well, you got all the guys that are wrestling too. Kai.
Right, Kai. Yeah.
Fields.
Ed's who I missed. Yeah, Ed, Derek, Luke, Josh, Jacob, Kai, and Knopp. So a lot of.
Camacho might have went through this 3 times already. So
a lot of guys that have gave a lot to the program. They mean a lot. It'll be good to honor them. It's also Valentine's Day, so I don't know what that means. I know we wrestled Virginia Tech on Valentine's Day the one year, and it had
a lot of love. That's what that meant.
There was a ton of love. I know they loved it. Maybe senior night, some of the guys won't get booed going out to the center like I did last year.
No, you'll be good.
But that's good. Pat, thanks for joining. You got any? I know we were talking a little bit summer camp. That's starting to come around the corner.
Yeah, dates are getting released July 7th through the 11th, but our website's up and running, and we'll have that out pretty soon. So take a look for that, but look forward to seeing everyone in Reynolds. And before we go, Trent, can we get a peek at your shirt you're wearing? We talked about this earlier today. This is great.
I got this at the outside of Tally there. I got about it for like $10.
That's perfect Wolfpack shirt right there.
Yeah. I actually got a surprise for you.
All right.
We got to get back to our Guess the Wrestler segment.
All right, let's go.
I got 2 people for you.
All right.
Ready? These could be slightly easy, but I wanted to get us back on track. All right, first one. He's from Pennsylvania. Okay, we've had a lot of those.
Yep.
Recently just coached a high school team to a state title.
Are you talking Boykin?
Nope. Here's a third hint. Also was celebrating a big Eagles victory last night. I know you've been celebrating that too.
Oh, brutal.
As an Eagles fan, he just won a state title.
Reinhardt?
Nope. He's a big Eagles fan, but maybe even a bigger fan than him. And he was also in my class. My class, big Eagles fan from PA.
Papsy?
Papsy.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. He did. I forgot I forgot he was big Eagles. I was always messing with him too.
Yeah. Yeah, Pat, that's a tough loss for you to take. I know that you wanted them to lose worse than anything, but they showed out.
No, I just like giving you guys a hard time.
All right, a second one. You ready?
Yep.
He had an older brother on the team before him. He was all-state defense in high school and football. From New York.
Oh, Cook.
Yeah.
Big Cook.
Yeah.
All right, those are good.
There's actually a good story about that all-state high school football thing. So whenever we got in as freshmen, it was in his bio. I don't think he was actually all-state. I think he was like all-section or
all section.
But it was all on the bio, so we ran with it.
That's perfect.
Yeah. That's it, Pat. Good job. That was good to get back on track there.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's catch up.
Yeah, so Stanford Friday night, Valentine's Day, senior night, going to be really exciting in Reynolds. Lots of great matchups. Summer camp, dates are out there. You heard it. That'll fill up fast, so get signed up. And up next, we got a big interview with Vince Robinson. So stay
That'd be
tuned
a good one.
in a minute.
Vinny Ice.
All right, everybody, we're back. Episode 135 of the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. I got a really special guest this afternoon, Vinny Robinson. How's it going, buddy?
Good. How about you, Trent?
I'm good, man. This is me and Brian were just talking. You're the first ever person to do the podcast through the phone. We were saying you're so busy that you couldn't get to the computer. You got so much stuff you got going on. You gotta do it on the run.
Yo, it's about that time. We getting ready for postseason, so just trying to get as ready as we can. So
Absolutely. Well, Vinny, let's talk a little bit about just this season, man. ACC wrestler, you got ACC Wrestler of the Week for the third time the other day. 17-1 record this season. The loss wasn't really a loss, so you've been kind of the heartbeat of this team. Talk a little bit about just your overall thoughts of the season so far. Is it kind of what you expected coming into the lineup?
Yeah, I think this is what I kind of expected coming into the lineup. Like I told you last year when you was on the squad, I was just like, I just need that one chance to perform, and when I had that chance to perform, I took the chance and I took the opportunity to just be able to perform at the highest level, and I just kept the ball rolling with consistency and just always perfected my craft in the wrestling room. So.
For sure. So, talking about that, you've been competing really well this year. What's it going to take for you? What's it take for you to win the national title? What do you think you have to do maybe in these next couple of weeks to get yourself ready to put yourself in that position?
I think just staying disciplined, listening to what the coaches tell me, and just working hard and just staying healthy and just staying on top of everything. That having no worries going into the tournament. So then when I get there, it's just all discipline and I just act like I've been there before. So that's
Yeah,
the point.
absolutely. A man on a mission. That's kind of what the vibe has been like this year, and it's been huge to have that in the lineup, and it'll be even better just to keep it going. So, a question for you. A lot of people are saying you're not really from Chicago. Where are you from? Tell the people where you're from.
No, I'm from the south side of Chicago. It's not really the south side, but it's like more the south side of the suburban area, and so I went to Homer Flossmoor High School in Marion Catholic, and so like I wouldn't say it's that bad, but I had a good life growing up. My mom and my dad in my life, so.
It's awesome. We'll count you as Chicago.
Say it one more time.
We'll count you in as being from Chicago.
Man, we from the rack, so that's what they call it, man.
What's the best food up there? I know when I went there this couple summers ago, I need some pizza recommendations. What's your go-to spot?
My go-to spot every time I touch down, I love Harold's Chicken.
Okay.
I love Harold's Chicken, and another good spot is I like Beggar's Pizza. I like Home of the Hoagie. It's like a steak sandwich. It's real good. It's like a sweet steak sandwich. So
you've got me intrigued.
You gotta go try it, bro. We gotta go try it.
That's good. What about in Raleigh? What's your favorite go-to spot here?
I love the Dankery. I've been heavy on the Dankery. It's this place on Hillsborough.
I've never been there. I've seen
And it's also I do want to try this place. I seen it look good. It's called Flavor Hills and Fat Boys. But we can't go there till after season, so
you got to hang in there for a couple of weeks. You'll get that.
Right.
That's good stuff. We talked a little bit, you redshirting last season, and you talked about just getting that opportunity. Last year Camacho had the spot. Obviously, has dealt with a lot of injury stuff. Talk a little bit about the impact that maybe Camacho has had for you, having a guy like that in the room, and you being able to compete with him last year and going into this year. What does that kind of help you with?
I think he kind of helped me a lot. It's just he taught me a lot of his mistakes, and so like him just telling me having him by my side through this whole process is just like it's just make it more easier, like, because he went through the same thing I went through, and if I am gonna go through it, he already did it already. So he kind of just set that blueprint for me. So then when the time comes, like if I ever need advice or anything, I could just go to Camacho and in that red shirt season, it kind of just helped me a lot with him too, because I was also watching him. I saw a lot of his mistakes as well, just myself, and I was like, okay, now when I hit the scene, I know not to do this and not to do that, and it just really just helped. Him being in the room helping a lot. And then over the summer, he was also helping me a lot. I think that's what really separated my. That's why I really think I separated myself was during the summer, just making a couple sacrifices for myself, and then just perfecting my craft. It was just perfecting my craft all summer, and then just being ready to go when the time came this year.
Yeah, no, he's been awesome. I think having somebody like that is kind of an older guy in the room. Obviously, he's had so many injuries, but it's like he's still been there for a lot of guys and has helped out. So it's been really grateful to have Jacob in this year. You talked a little bit about honing in on your craft. Talk to me a little bit about how would you describe your wrestling style? How would you if someone said what's the Vincent Robinson style? How would you describe that?
I think it's very savvy and explosive. It's like a little mix in between. But I think what separates me is just my wrestling IQ when I am wrestling and in them deep matches. I think just think like I just know how to wrestle the good matches. And
Mhm.
obviously the coaches at Zach Esposito, we go through it in practice when we go live, and so every time we put myself in those situations, I think like, okay, I'm in the national finals. This is that time right now when I'm in practice. So I think just pushing myself to that limit, and yeah.
Yeah. You think your wrestling IQ, you think you get that a lot from training or kind of more like from experience and competition?
I think I got it more from training. A lot. I think I got a lot from training just in preseason and just last year as well, and over the summer. I think it's just, and with Zach Esposito being an add-on to the coaching staff, it just made it even more it just made it even more better. So
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, a couple more questions for you. When you're going out, talk to us a little bit, man. You've got the best celebrations on the team. You always put on a show, right? When you're getting ready and you're in that tunnel and you're on deck, what's going through your head when you're about to walk out to the mat in Reynolds? Talk through to the fans a little bit. What's some of your self talk? What's going through your head when you're going out there?
I kind of just, well, my dad always told me since I was little, go light up the scoreboard, go light up the scoreboard. So that's my first thoughts, and then just obviously just keeping in the back of my mind my moves, and also just every time Pat always tell me let the match come to me. Sometimes I always go out in a little burst, but he was like, just let the match come to you. You know you could take anybody down when you want, and so I just always keep that in mind, and just also just being disciplined and listening to my coaches and listening to everything we practice and listen to everything that we do in practice, because it actually works in practice, and that's why they're there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Outside of me, when I'm in the room, who's got the most drip on the team?
It's me. It's me.
All right, outside of you got to shout somebody out.
I think Isaac got some drip. I think Isaac definitely got drip. He got the Varners, and so he getting up there. He definitely getting there.
Louis might be mad about the selection, but
I put Louis got some drip too though. Louis do got some drip.
he sure.
Louis in second.
What are the
Well, I
kids?
say third.
What are the kids nowadays saying? I got bad aura. I got negative aura.
That live all practice is negative aura.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes I take it a little overboard. All right, I got two last questions for you, Vinny.
Yep.
What's something about you that NC State wrestling fans may not know? You got any maybe hidden talents, any hobbies, or anything that you're really into that people might not know about you?
I'm really good at football. And
Really?
people don't believe me, but I feel like I could have went like Division II in football. I
Okay.
think and I also love the game. Like I love playing the game. And some people don't think I play the game a lot, but I love playing the game.
Playing the game as
And
in,
I like being active. Like even when we're not in season, I like playing basketball, football. Just always I like keeping myself busy.
yeah, for sure. You would have been like, if you would have played basketball, you would have been like the next version of Darren Sproles or something.
Spoiled well.
Yeah, right. All right, last question for you. I know you're busy today. I know you probably got some classes to get to. What motivates you? Where's your drive come from? What's what what makes you get out of bed and feel so motivated to chase your goals?
What motivates me the most is just like my family. Really just my family and my little brothers, like JJ and Chaz. And also just my older brother as well, like, cause I guess I see it as like they never really seen like somebody compete on a high level in my family like I have. And so just setting that bar for them, it just it just feel different. And like every time I'm wrestling or I'm going hard, if something get hard, I just always think about like my dad or my mom. It just it's hard to explain, but mostly it's just my family.
For
Because
sure.
I know they want to see me succeed, but I want to see myself succeed as well. And so I think just chasing those goals and dreams that I want, it just make me want it. It just make me want it more.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and that's real for sure. Vinny, that's all I got for you. You got anything for the fans? Any parting words?
I appreciate all the support that y'all showed me this past season. It was very exciting, and I'm just excited for what's more to come. For the next couple years that I am here, and I hope that y'all just tune in Friday against
Yeah,
Stanford.
yeah, Friday Stanford. A lot of people are saying that maybe there'd be like a backflip or something. I don't know. I
Hey,
told him. I said, hey, if he gets ridden out in the third period, no more back.
in fact, that Trent did tell me that.
uh,
Facts.
Vinny, thanks for joining. I know people are really going to enjoy this. I know they enjoy you. So
Yep.
just keep up the good work and finish this season out the right way. It's going to be really exciting. But Wolfpack fans, come see Vinny Friday night against Stanford, 7 p.m. This has been another installment of the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. We'll catch you later.
Yep. Thanks, Trent, for having me.
You got it, buddy.